Hello and welcome to this weather update. We're going to talk about the weather and the fact it sucked for the past couple of days. We never really got any clear weather once again. And you see all the clouds spreading over our area once again, and the weekend is going to stink. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about some unusual earthquake activity too. But first, let's go over the current conditions and what we've been dealing with at Farmingdale Airport. Now today was not that hot, but you could see it's been a little on the humid side. Dew points in the 60s, and not that hot, but we've also had a lot of clouds around. Despite this saying clear, we've had high clouds around all day long, and it's 64 right now. And the forecast for our area, we'll go over this. I'm not going to make a complicated weather update where we're going to go over the models. We're not going to do that. We're just going over the conditions. So 64, it's going to rain. It's going to rain tomorrow and probably part of Sunday. It's going to be humid, and then we have a couple of nice days Monday and Tuesday before it starts getting humid again and rather hot. As you see, by Friday we're up to 89. If we go and look at our clear sky clock forecast, you'll see that it's going to be cloudy for tomorrow, and you can see it was cloudy. Well, when you see that white, that means cloudy. Alright, so once again, we're kind of stuck in these clouds, and I'm tired of it, you know. I know why a lot of people are moving here. Flagstaff, Arizona. Alright, this place has beautiful weather. Yeah, it's hot, 84 degrees, it's not that bad. But look at the dew point, it's 19. It's dry, it's clear. Let's take a look at the clear sky clock for their area. And you'll see, look at that deep shade. That means a perfect sky. When you see those really deep like that, that means a perfect deep blue sky like that because of the dry air. But it's rare that we ever get to see that here anymore because of climate change. It's getting more humid here on the East Coast. All right. So let's jump back to Flagstaff here, and you'll see they'll have nice weather all week long. So sunny, 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 sunny every single day. And barely a cloud in the sky. If we take a look at the 3-day history, you'll see compared to ours, which looks different. They use different. This weather service uses a different thing. So, folks, this is why people are leaving the East Coast, because it's not only is it expensive, but the weather stinks here. When you can go to Flagstaff and have a nice dry, and look at it, gets cool at night in the 50s. Goes down into the 50s, sometimes even the 40s. So it's a really beautiful dry climate. It's not all wet and disgusting like it is here in the East Coast. And you know what else is awesome about Flagstaff? You know what's really awesome about Flagstaff? You know what's really going to take your breath away about Flagstaff? We'll take a look at this. Yes, Pine Barrens. Pine barrens. Yes, they have pine barrens there. These aren't pitch pines, these are ponderosa pines. But literally, the place is surrounded by this beautiful pine forest that is just amazing. It's just incredible scenery here. And it's surrounded by all of this beautiful scenery. So, yeah, if I wind up leaving the East Coast, maybe I'll move to Flagstaff. Huh? How about that? Look at that. Almost looks like pitch pines in New Jersey, but this is not New Jersey. This is Flagstaff. These are ponderosa pines, and they are beautiful. So, folks, this might be a place for the climate refugees that are tired of the humidity and the rain and the storms of the East Coast. You can go to Flagstaff and get beautiful weather almost every day with beautiful scenery. Look at that. Anyway, the next thing we're going to talk about is going to be some unusual earthquake activity across the world. Okay, this is what I want to talk to you about with the earthquake situation. They're very unusual, and I talked about this once before. Unusual activity on seismographs, and this isn't being talked about, but if you take a look here at all these seismographs, you'll see they're in different areas of the world, but yet they're all displaying this pulse right over here. So here we are in Finland, all right? All right, and you'll see, if we pull this up, you'll see that there's a pulse right around this time. It's 20 20 hours UTC, 2030 UTC, on the 22nd. All right, so that's Finland right there, right? If we go to Ukraine, it shows up right around the same time. All right, maybe you say, all right, that's a little too close. Let's go ahead and look at some other seismographs. Let's go look at Ecuador. It's showing up in Ecuador too, right around the same time. So there's some weird stuff going on, and I'm going to link you to a video in this video about this weird stuff going on. To have seismographic activity around the same time in many parts of the world. Here we go. South Dakota, again, the same thing. So what's going on here? This is very strange. So I'll link you to this. Here's Pennsylvania, around the same time. 20 hours, 2030. It's like a pulse. It's like a very, like a rumbling almost kind of pulse. So this is very unusual. And of course the news isn't talking about it. Of course they're not talking about it. Tennessee, same thing. 20 hours, look at this pulse here. So it's very strange. And nobody's really talking about it. You see it in Michigan, Ohio, right here, right here. All right, put it up, I'll show you. There it is again. So what's causing these strange pulses? Is it something in the earth that's vibrating the earth, or is it something from outer space? We don't know what it is. Here it is in Binghamton, New York. Same thing. 2030. Look at that. So what is going on? What is causing this? It's very strange. And here we go again. It's a little stronger over here. Interesting. It's a little earlier on this one. It may just be the time being off on that seismograph. All right. Here it is in Wisconsin. 2030. Same thing. Here it is in Virginia. Same thing, 2030. So what is going on here with this? It's very, very strange. Here it is in Pennsylvania. So a very strange pulse that happened around the planet, pretty much, right around that time. And the question is, what caused it? What's causing this? It's showing up in almost all the seismographs. So what is causing this? It's a real mystery, and we should really be talking about it. So concluding things, we'll go back to the weather. Let's take a look at the weather, the models, see what the GFS has. So you can see that low that's going to bring us the rainy, yucky weather. Meanwhile, beautiful weather in the southwest, of course. And you can see we have this high that's going to try to build down here. Hopefully it'll be able to make it through and bring us some nice weather Monday into Tuesday. Hopefully it'll be able to bring us some nice weather and clear skies. And then as we go into the end of the week and next weekend, the rain comes back, the ridge comes back, the humidity comes back, and it's going to suck because I think the 30th we have some fireworks shows going on. Looks like it's going to be humid, and that ridge just sticks around probably right into July 4th probably, and we might not get out of the humidity and the disgusting skies until some more dry air moves in on July 6th, it looks like maybe. But this is in the long range. So, we're going to actually take a look at our area. We're going to look at our area, and we're going to look at the sky cover. So let's take a look to see when do we get clear skies again. I got to actually move this back. All right, so we'll look at the GFS here. We know the weekend's going to be full of clouds. Let's see, do we clear out on Monday? Yep, we do clear out a little on Monday. But look what happens Tuesday. Yeah, more clouds roll back in again. So I don't know if we're going to actually get a clear day next week or not. Just more freaking clouds. Look at that, right through the period. And maybe not until July 8th do we have clear skies. Let me look at the Canadian one. So let's take a look at this. So again, we'll go look at the Canadians, see if the Canadians are a little more optimistic about next week. It is a little more optimistic. It still has the freaking high clouds trying to roll in on us on Tuesday again, and then maybe, you know, it has Friday being nice, so Friday would be nice maybe. So we'll have to see. You know, this is the problem. We're getting into a cloudier, more humid climate on the East Coast, and it really stinks for people like me who like dry weather and sunny skies. It really does stink. So you have to wonder, are we going to eventually have to flee the Northeast because the climate has gotten too humid and too tropical? Let's just go and look at the Southwest for a minute. Let's look. I think Flagstaff's somewhere over here, right? So let's go. Any clouds? No, hardly any clouds. Look at that. Maybe a little bit more toward the end of the period, but hardly any clouds at all. Look at the GFS one, and we'll see what that one looks like. Just hypothetically here. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, some scattered clouds, but again, the climate's much drier there because they don't have that freaking. See what it is? Yeah, let me explain to you what's going on in a graphic. Okay, I'm going to attempt to draw. Let's see what happens here, all right? So I'm going to explain to you again what the problem is with our weather, all right? So, again, we got this nice cool air up in Canada here, you know, this nice cool air, cool, dry air. But the problem is it can't come up because of the damn jet stream is always there's always a freaking ridge over here. So you always have this heat ridge over here due to climate change because the Atlantic Ocean is warmer, and that just keeps it literally it pumps the humidity up the East Coast. Constantly we have this set up. So literally the whole East Coast experiences similar climate. You know, the whole East Coast is stuck in the humidity. It's humid. You have clouds. And you can't get into the dry air. Alright? And the Atlantic Ocean keeps getting warmer, which keeps leading to this ridge keep developing. Alright? And the jet stream wants to stay up in Canada like this. So it stays way up in Canada. We can't get into the cool dry air. It can't come down into the country because it's being pushed up by all this humidity. All right. The thing with the Pacific Ocean is the Pacific is cooler. All right. The Pacific is a cooler ocean. All right. It's cooler. You know, water temperatures are usually only in the 50s. So you don't get the humidity when the flow is coming in off the Pacific like you do on the Atlantic flow. All right. In addition, you have all the mountains here. So you have all the mountains that, so draw some mountains here. Probably not going to look very good, but I'll try. You have all the mountains over here. All right, so that dries the air out when the air goes in over a place like Arizona. All right. On top of it, Flagstaff is elevated. So that's why it has such beautiful weather there. You have the clear skies, you have the dry air, and you don't get the humidity. But the whole East Coast, the climate is changing in the United States, where what's going to happen if we keep this climate change up is that the East Coast, the entire East Coast, is going to have a subtropical climate. This is all going to be subtropical over here. This whole area is going to be subtropical, all right? All right? So it's going to be like Florida, Carolina weather up the entire East Coast because this ridge is going to become permanent, all right? And what's probably going to happen is the climate here in the middle of the country is probably going to get drier and colder. All right, it's going to get drier and colder, and mainly drier. I think it's going to get drier. All right, so there could be more fires in this area. It's going to favor pines because pines, even ponderosa pines, like pitch pines, they like that dry environment. So they're going to thrive. But for a lot of other plants, it's not going to be so good. But it's going to be basically what's going to happen is the East Coast is going to get wetter. East Coast is wetter, all right? So it's wetter over here, all right? The whole East Coast gets wetter, while the West Coast gets drier, all right? It's getting drier on the West Coast, all right? So if you don't like wet and humidity, you've got to go west. And this is what could be happening in our entire country. is that as the climate changes. Climate is not going to be based on latitude so much anymore. It's going to be based on how it's going to be based on longitude, not latitude. So depending on your it's not going to depend so much on how far north you are or how south you are, as far more it's going to depend as the jet stream gets weaker. It's going to depend more on what's going to happen where you are in longitude. All right, so the further west you are is going to be drier. All right, and the cool air, is going to keep being displaced, and there's going to be more cold air outbreaks in the west, I think. All right, as time goes on, that's what we're going to see due to climate change and the Atlantic Ocean and the hurricanes. It's going to, if you like Florida, that's great for you. But if you're somebody who can't deal with humidity and deal with day after day of cloudy weather, then the East Coast may not be for you in the future. That's all I'm saying, and that's all I'm going to say in this video. I'm not packing my bags for Flagstaff yet. But if this continues years and years down the line, yeah, it's a possibility. Anyway, that's it for this video. Take care.